What Thermomix extra accessories do I need? A lot of people have this question, especially when they're looking at a bundle or when they're adding their TM7 to the cart and they see names like Cutter Plus, Sensor, second mixing bowl, blade cover and peeler, Neester. They wonder, okay, but what does each one actually do? What would I use it for? Which one will make sense for the way I cook? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about the main TM7 accessories, explain what they do with real life examples, and help you understand why someone might want to add them to their Thermomix setup. Let's do it! Hi, my name is Diana, the Dummy Cook, and today we're going to talk about the Thermomix extra accessories, the Cutter Plus, the blade cover and peeler, the sensor, the second mixing bowl, and we'll even mention the Neester. We'll list what they do, when they're useful, and what kind of person might actually enjoy having them. I made a video like this a while ago with the TM6, but today we're doing the updated version for TM7 because some things changed. For example, the cutter and spiralizer are now called Cutter Plus, and they're both included in the same package. We are not talking about two separate items anymore. If you have a TM5 or a TM6, stay until the end because I will add a few notes about what still applies to you. Okay, before we start, let's quickly talk about what already comes with your TM7 because this is important. When you buy a Thermomix TM7, you already get the TM7 base, the mixing bowl with lid, the mixing knife, the blade, the spatula, the simmering basket, the butterfly whisk, and the Varoma set. So when we talk about extra accessories, we're not talking about those things you need in order to start cooking. You already have what you need to start using your Thermomix. The extra accessories are extras that can make certain jobs easier, faster, or more convenient, but they're not needed in, I will say, 90% of the cases. You will see two cases where the blade cover will be needed, and I will explain that later. Let's start with the Cutter Plus. This is the accessory that helps you slice, shred, and spiralize. So if you're using the TM7 Cutter Plus, you can slice cucumbers, potatoes, zucchinis, onions, apples, carrots. You can also shred carrots, cabbage, and cheese, but the soft type. Don't you try it with the Parmesan, you have your Thermomix mixing bowl for that. And you can also make spiralized vegetables like zoodles or curly potatoes and much more. This is the accessory for people who want their Thermomix to help more with prep and presentation. It is especially useful if you make salads, gratins, coleslaw, potato dishes, vegetable sides, apple desserts, or anything where you will normally take out a knife, a cutting board, a mandolin, or a box grater. And you know me, I love when Thermomix saves me the steps. If I can put the accessory in, add the vegetables, and get nice even slices or shreds without standing there doing it by hand, I'm happy. Now, at the same time, if I just need to slice one cucumber or one carrot, I probably won't use my Cutter Plus. I don't want to get it out, choose the blade, wash it after, even though it's very easy, for just the one veggie. Let's be honest. Of course, if presentation is what matters, then this is a must. The same cucumber tastes like cucumber, but if it's sliced beautifully, the dish just looks better. Same with carrots, same with apples, zucchini. It makes simple ingredients look more polished with very little effort, especially when using the spiralizer. There's no way you're doing that by hand. One last note, it does not dice. Like I said, it slices, shreds, and spiralizes either in flat spirals or in spaghetti-style spirals, but it does not cut into cubes. For regular chopping, you already have your Thermomix bowl, but the bowl gives you vegetables in small pieces without a specific shape. Those are perfect for a stew, but not for decorating a plate. Okay? That way you know what you get with each item. I made a full video about the Cutter Plus, and it's right here. So if this is the accessory you're considering, watch that next because I show it in action with more examples. I will add a link to the description. Next, the blade cover and peeler. This is one of those accessories that people underestimate until they understand what it does. It sits over the blades, and it helps protect food from being chopped when you want gentle cooking. That means that it is useful and in many cases needed for these two modes, slow cooking and sous vide, where you want the blades to move the liquid gently in the bowl without cutting the ingredients that are sitting right here on top. But then, of course, it also peels. And that is the part that makes people go, wait, what? It can help peel potatoes or other root vegetables? Yes! Instead of standing there peeling by hand, you let Thermomix help you with that step. It's not that you will never touch a peeler again in your life, but if you're making mashed potatoes, potato salad, stew, or anything where you have a lot of potatoes, this can save you time and effort. You might need to do it in a few batches if you have that many potatoes, but that's time that you're busy preparing something else. You can also batch peel garlic garlic ahead of time, or use it for beet, ginger, and many other vegetables. The more round, the better. If the veggie is not round, the peeler will eat a little bit to make it round. My verdict? Having a blade cover is required in some cases, so I will have one no matter what. There is an option in the Thermomix store for just a blade cover, without the peeler, but for the difference, I will just get the blade cover and peeler and have it for when you need it. If you end up using the peeler a lot, that's great. If you only use it occasionally, you'll be happy you had it in those occasions. I made a video about the blade cover and peeler, and it's right here. So if you want to see how it works, I will leave that link as well. Now let's talk about the Thermomix Sensor. The sensor is a wireless thermometer that helps you monitor the temperature of food outside the mixing bowl. So think about things like meat in the oven or in your own grill, also for fish, bread, cakes, or anything where the inside temperature matters. Thermomix is amazing at precise temperature cooking inside the bowl, and the sensor helps extend that precision beyond the bowl. A very easy example is meat. Instead of guessing if it's done or cutting it up and losing juices, the sensor can help you know when it reaches the temperature that you're looking for. Another example is bread. Sometimes the outside looks done, but the inside still needs more time. The sensor removes the guessing. Same with cakes or larger bakes, where the outside can trick you. I will say this accessory is for the person who wants more confidence and precision. If you love baking bread, roasting meats, cooking fish, grilling, or you just like the peace of mind of knowing what is happening inside the food, then the sensor makes a lot of sense. If you're mostly making sauces, soups, stews, dips, smoothies, and everyday bowl recipes, you may not reach for it as often. So this one depends a lot on your cooking style. I also made a video about the sensor. It's right here. I made it with the TM6, but the concepts apply the same way. And of course, the link goes to the comments right now. Those are the three main extra accessories I wanted to explain first: Cutter Plus, blade cover and peeler, and sensor. Now let's talk about two more extras that I personally think are worth mentioning. First, the second mixing bowl. I already made a full video just about this, and it's right here. I gave a ton of examples on why you will enjoy having two. But the short version of that video is this: a second bowl saves time and makes Thermomix cooking more convenient. One bowl is enough, but two bowls can help you move faster, save steps, and keep your Thermomix workflow going. For example, maybe one recipe is asking you to grate Parmesan, make confectioner sugar, or mill rice flour before you continue. With a second bowl, you can do that quickly, and then go back to your main recipe. Ta-da! Or maybe your dough needs to rest in the bowl, but you still want to keep cooking. Or maybe you finished the soup and you want to keep it warm in the bowl while you start something else. Or maybe you're making two batches of the same recipe and you want both bowls ready so you can move faster. That is why the second mixing bowl is one of those accessories that is not necessary, but is really, really, really nice to have. Another extra accessory I want to mention is the Neester. The Neester is one of the newer accessories for TM7, and it is very cool. It is a silicone mold that fits inside the TM7 aroma tray, and it has individual portions. So think poached eggs, mini frittatas, little cakes, little egg bites, muffins, small desserts, or anything where you want individual portions cooked with steam. And yes, 1 second, we cannot let the steam go out. There you are. This is the kind of accessory that makes you think, wow, that's clever, because the aroma is already great, but the Neester gives you a different way of using that steaming space. Instead of just putting food directly on the tray and the base, you can create little portions. And I love anything that makes the aroma feel more useful, because I think many people don't use the aroma as much as they could. Super cute, right? It is really a fun accessory. I made a video about the Neester, it's right here. So if you want to see ideas for using it, that video will help. And you guessed it, that video link is going to the comments. So, very simple summary. Cutter Plus for slicing, grating, and spiralizing. Blade cover and peeler for peeling, slow cooking, and sous vide. Sensor is for temperature precision outside of the bowl. A second mixing bowl is for saving time and making cooking more convenient. And Neester is for individual portions in the aroma. To choose, just think about what you cook the most. Vegetables and prep, Cutter Plus. Potatoes, slow cooking or sous vide, blade cover and peeler. Roasts, bread, baking or grilling, the Sensor. Saving time and moving faster, the second mixing bowl. You love steaming, the Neester. And remember, you don't need these items. You can start just with tons of recipes in your TM7 without needing any of these extras. But if you're thinking about any of them, also remember that you don't need to get everything at once. There is free shipping on accessories when you buy over $150 worth, at least at the time I'm making this video, so you can wait and get some extra items later on. Or sometimes there is a bundle or an offer, or you have enough loyalty points, you got a coupon for buying from a consultant, and that is why this video can help. Now you know what to get with that offer, those loyalty points, or that coupon. Now Now, quick notes for TM5 and TM6 owners, because I know that many of you are watching too. The idea of a second bowl applies to TM5, TM6, and TM7, but the bowl itself has to be the correct bowl for your specific model. The blade cover and peeler works for 5, 6, and 7. The sensor only works for 6 and 7, but a TM5 owner, or anyone for that matter, can use the sensor as a regular food thermometer with the app, but it wouldn't be integrated into the recipes. Still good. For the cutter, it depends on your model. The TM7 uses the TM7 Cutter Plus, and that one already includes the spiralizer. For TM6 and TM5, they had the cutter and the spiralizer separate for a while, and then they bundled them into the TM6 Cutter Plus. If you have just the cutter for TM6 and you want to spiralize, you'll need the spiralizer add-on. And remember that for TM5, you will be using the cutter manually. I believe you don't have the same guided mode experience as TM6 or TM7. So, if your consultant sent you this video, give them a call right away and ask them which accessory makes the most sense for how you cook. If you don't have a consultant, I volunteer. Please contact me right here, or please choose my name at checkout. Diana Legissima at your service. Not only will you get a freebie at checkout, you will also have me on your corner during your Thermomix journey. And please email me if you have questions before purchase. I love hearing from you. So, Thermomix accessories. Like I said at the beginning, you don't need all of them. Thermomix is already amazing on its own, but the right accessory can make your cooking faster, easier, more precise, or just more fun. Thank you so much for watching. If you have one of these accessories, please write in the comments which one is your favorite and how you use it. We all would love to know. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and just keep watching, Thank you.